Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all doing good. So, welcome to Master Course on Data Analytics course. Last week we had seen on the introduction about the Data Analytics course. So today, this is our second class on Introduction to SQL. Okay, I'm Monica. Yes. Okay, let's begin with the session now. Okay, before that, let me give a brief introduction about our institution, Technocraft Academy. So we have a Technocraft Academy training institution located at Belgavi. So we provide trainings on the different courses like basic computer applications, a spoken English class, and CAD, CAM, and CA design technologies, data analytics, and full stack development courses. Along with the training, we also provide a placement assistance, which includes resume building, interview preparation, soft skill training, and mock interviews. Okay, so we have a direct connection with the industry partners and the recruitment team, which helps us to get a job for the candidates. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about our Technocraft Academy. Now let's begin with today's topic, that is Introduction to SQL for Data Analytics course. Okay, so first understand what is SQL. So we all know that SQL is a structured query language, which is a machine understandable language. In simple words, if we say, it's a structured language which a machine understands. Okay, so SQL helps us for managing and manipulating all the data on the databases, and helps us to interact with the database. Okay, so to explain with an scenario or an example, let us consider we have a bank system. So now we are using, now it has become a digital, so we are using mobile phones or internet banking, ATMs and all. But earlier, if some person has to make any transactions, then he has to visit a bank, and if, for example, if he is going to deposit some money, then he need to take a challan, fill it, and then provide it to the clerk, and the clerk would check all the information and deposit the money in his account. Okay, so here we have a clerk. So when we give challans to the clerk, then a clerk will command to the peon to bring a record book where all the information is stored. So he will enter all the information in that, and then our money is deposited. So in this case, a clerk is nothing but us who is commanding to a peon in a language he understands. So here peon is nothing but a SQL, a structured query language. So we are commanding him, and he is going and checking all the record books and getting it for us. So SQL goes to the database and gets all the records that we are commanding. So I hope it is clear what is SQL here. Okay, so now we know that SQL interacts with the data stored on the database. Now understand what is database. So database is nothing but a collection of data. It might be a structured, unstructured, or semi-structured data, but database holds a data. Okay, so we have a on-premises data and cloud data, or on cloud. So on-premises data is nothing but the data which is stored in our machine or in our local hard drive disk and all, where we have our own infrastructure maintaining all the data. And on cloud is nothing but the different companies own, like they own our data, so we pay for it, and they keep our data in a particular storehouse or in a secured place, and we need to pay for them. So this is called as on cloud data. Okay, so whenever it is required, we can get it easily, like by commanding. Now let us see what are the key functions of this SQL. So we have SQL is used for retrieving data, inserting, updating or deleting the data, or creating or modifying the tables or the structures in the database. We use a SQL. Okay, SQL is very important for data analysis, because in order to analyze the data, first we need to retrieve it or extract it or manipulate it. So for that we use a SQL. Okay, these are some of the key functions of the SQL. Okay, so now we may get a thought like why SQL is required for data analytics. Okay, so next topic is why SQL is required for data analytics. So in order for we need to analyze the data, we need to first fetch the data. So for that we need a SQL. So often data is stored in databases. So in order to fetch the data and load in our tools, we need a SQL. And after getting the data, after extracting it, we need to modify it, like we need to transform it into our requirement, according to our requirement. So for that also we use a SQL. So we can provide some of the SQL commands and transform it according to our requirement. Okay, so for that also SQL is required. And SQL is very must for all the data analyst, data scientist or a business analyst. It may be any field in the data. SQL is very essential skill to be a data analyst. Okay. Now we know what is SQL and why it is essential for data analytics. So here in this course we are mainly going to concentrate on the Oracle SQL. There are the other SQLs also available, like MySQL, PostgreSQL, PL SQL and all. So you guys can learn that as well, but in this our course I'm going to concentrate on Oracle SQL since it is very widely used. So let's begin with the Oracle SQL. So before that, let me go through some of the steps for the installation of SQL. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the Oracle Apex, which is mainly used for learning purpose. This is only for training and learning purpose for these students like us who is interested in learning SQL. Okay, so let's get started. So for the first step is we need to go to browser. Okay, first we'll go to browser. And type here Oracle Apex sign in. Search for this and you can see there is a second one, apex.oracle.com. Click on this. Okay, start for free today. We have an option called sign in here. Just click on sign in. Okay, so we need to create a workspace in order to work on this. We don't have a workspace, so we need to create a new workspace. So I'm requesting a workspace here. Enter your name. And okay, give your first name, last name, email address, and it's Technocrafttrainingacademy@gmail.com. Okay, and give any a relevant workspace name that I'm giving Technodata. Okay, you can give anything that feel like it is relevant to you. It is just in workspace name, but we need to remember the workspace name that we provide. Also, the whatever the email address you provide, that should be an active email ID, since you are going to get a activation link on your email ID. So just provide your active email ID. Then give a workspace name. Okay, and the country. Okay, usage is personal, so we are using it for our personal training purpose or learning purpose, so I'm using it as personal. Then click on next. Enter a different workspace name. Okay, let's choose a different workspace name. I'll take Technocraft Data Analytics. Survey. So this is a common survey, just like to provide some of the basic information. Are you new to Oracle Apex? Yes. So if you are using it for the first time, then click X. Then do you plan to use Apex for education training? Yes, we are using it for education or learning purpose, so it is S. Then click on the next step. We have some service agreement. You guys can go through it. It's just like we don't need to like a disclosure of our data and all. Just go through these terms and conditions, then accept the terms. Next. Okay, just verify your information, first name, last name, email address. Please concentrate on your email address if it is correct or not. Then country, India, personal, and workspace name. So we need to remember our workspace name. Like next time whenever we are going to query something, then we need this workspace name. It's a Technocraft Data Analytics. I have given the name. Okay, everything is correct, so I'm going to submit a request here. Okay, so once we submit a request, then the team will send us an email to activate our workspace. So it may take up to 10 to 15 minutes to get an activate approval mail. Okay, let's wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, till I receive a mail, let me summarize all the points once again. Okay, so first we need to open our browser and provide like enter Oracle Apex sign in. Okay, this is only for learning purpose, guys. So this is not used like in the offices or companies. This is only for our learning and educating purpose. Okay, and for like in the corporate world we don't use this, so we use a SQL developer, MySQL and all. So since like it is a free accessible for learning purpose, I am going through this Oracle Apex. Anyhow, the querying and everything will remain same. Okay, so once you enter this Oracle Apex, then you'll get a page where prompting for the sign in. Just sign in, and since we are going to do it, we are going to use Oracle Apex for the first time, so we need to request for an workspace. So you'll see an option called request for new workspace. So click on it, and then you'll have to provide all the information on the first tab, like your first name, last name, mail address, country name, and what is the purpose of this Oracle Apex, whether it is for personal usage. Then click personal usage, provide your active mail ID, since you are going to get an activation mail for your workspace. Okay, so once these informations are provided, then you'll get a next tab. You'll have a survey. So in the survey it will be like a 2 basic questions, whether you are new to Oracle Apex and you are planning to use Apex for educating or training purpose. So you can choose accordingly whether it is yes or no. After that you'll have an agreement tab where you'll have a terms and conditions. You can go through all those terms and conditions and then provide your agreement. At the last you'll have a confirmation tab where you need to confirm that all the information that you are provided is correct, or you can review it and then provide a confirmation for the workspace request. Okay. So once you provide confirmation, then you will receive a mail saying to activate an workspace. So just you need to click activate the workspace. Okay, so once you activate your workspace, then you can use Oracle Apex for all your querying purpose. Okay, so let me check mail if I have received a mail or not. Okay, so you can see I have received mail confirming that whether I need to create a workspace or not. So let's click on create workspace. Okay, so request has been successfully created. So workspace has been successfully created for us. Now let's sign in. We need to provide a password. Provide a password that is easily accessible for you. Okay. So now we have signed in and password is also set. Okay, let's begin. So you can see here we have a different options like app builder, SQL workshop, team development, gallery and all. Since we have not loaded in any tables and all, so it is 0 tables, 0 application, and since I'm working on it, 1 developers. Okay, so today like we'll just see how to load our data and how to use some of the basic queries. Okay, so first you need to go on SQL workshop. Click on SQL workshop. So here you will have another 4-5 different options like object browser, SQL commands, SQL scripts, utilities and RESTful services. So we'll mainly use on SQL commands and utilities. Okay, SQL scripts as well. So click on utilities and the first one, data workshop. So this is used for loading the data. So I'm using data workshop, then load data, choose a file. So it's on desktop, employees, open. Okay, so you'll get a prompt asking what is the table name. So provide a table name here. Okay, so this is the data you are seeing. So this is how the data is there. Just a preview of data. We are able to see only 5 rows here. Okay, load data. There are 107 rows. So you are getting a table employees created with 107 rows. Okay, so now we have loaded our data. Let's go back. Okay, let's go to SQL commands and just run a very simple query of a select statement. Okay, so we can see all the data here. So I'm getting only 10 rows because by default the rows is set to 10. So if you want to fetch all the rows, then like we have 170 rows, so I'm choosing 200. That would be enough for us to fetch 170 rows, 170 records. So now we can see like we are getting all 170 records here. Okay. Okay, so we all know that SQL is case insensitive. So we can use the capital letters or the small case letters, but it is always advisable to use uppercase. Okay, so this is one of the very basic query, like a select star from employees. Okay, so let's see some more examples of querying. So, and it is always recommended to use a semicolon after the end of the statement, even though it does not make any difference in this Oracle Apex, but it is always recommended to use a semicolon after a completion of one of your command. Okay, so I'm just going to run some of the queries in order to get friendly with this Oracle Apex. So now we know that select star from employees gives us all the columns in the employees table, all the columns and rows. But in case if you want to fetch only some of the columns from this employees table, like if you need only the employee ID and what would be his first name and last name. Okay, so now you'll get only the employee ID, his first name and last name from the employees table. Okay, so you can see we have information. Employee ID is 100. So his first name is Steven and his last name is King. Okay, so you also want to know what would be his salary. So just add one more column, salary. Okay, so now we are able to see his salary as well. Okay, but you don't want to see all the employees' name. So if you are searching for any particular person, Then we can use a where clause, where first name, okay, where first name equals to Steven. Okay, so we can see there are two employees with the same first name as Steven. One is Steven King and the other one is Steven Markle. So they are having different salaries and employee IDs as well. So we have a primary key. Don't know if primary key is nothing but the data or the records which are unique for each of the rows, which are not repeated. So we call it as a primary keys. So even the primary key will not contain any null values or duplicate values. So each and every table should have a primary key in order to join it with any other table or to get our required particular information. So we can use always a primary key. Okay, so in our case, in our table, employee ID is a primary key. So if I was looking for any Stephen King, then instead of giving his first name and last name, then I could have directly provided employee ID, which is unique for Stephen King. Then I could have got only the information related to Stephen King. Okay, so if I, for example, if I provide here employee ID only, okay, and one more thing. So whenever you are providing any string values, we need to include the single quotes. Okay, for numerical values it is not required. For the string values we need to provide the single quotes or double quotes as well. Okay, so now we can see we are getting only one record with the employee ID as 100, which is Stephen King, and his salary as 24,000. So one more thing, so if you are looking we'll provide another condition. So you need all the employees name or employees IDs whose salary is more than 15,000. Okay, so for that we'll provide a condition: salary is greater than or equal to 15,000. So now you'll get a list of all the employees whose salary is more than 15,000. So we have only 3 members or only 3 employees whose salary is more than 15,000. So this is all like a manipulation of the data which is required when we are analyzing the data. So we'll not have all the data in a required manner. So that time we need to use all these kind of transformations whose salary is more than 15,000 or whose first name is Steven. So any other who is working in particular branch and all. So for those all kind of transformations and all, we need SQL for data analyzing. Okay, so now we know how to use wait clause and all, but let's check all the information. We can use select star, which gives all the columns from the employees table with the condition applied whose salary is let us make it as whose salary is greater than 7,000, or you can give even a range between these. Let me give whose salary is greater than equal to 7,000, and you want to add one more condition, and salary is less than or equal to, I can say, 20,000. Okay, so now we'll get all the employees information whose salary is greater than or equal to 7,000 and less than or equal to 20,000. Okay, so we can see we have these many employees. 46 rows are written, means we have 46 employees whose salary is greater than 7,000 and less than 20,000. So you can observe in the salary column we have 17,000, 9,000, 12,008. So this salary is in the range between 7 to 20,000. That means we are getting a correct records. So if you want to just know like a count of employees whose salary is between this range, then we can use a count query in order to get that. Let me count the employee IDs here in order to know like how many employees are falling in this particular range. Okay, it's employee ID. (46). So last time we saw there were 46 rows. So we can use the count command to know like how many employees are there in this salary range. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the basic commands I have used. Okay, so these were some of the basic SQL commands that I used to make get to know like how we can use our Oracle Apex and all. So in our next session we'll go through the like different commands that are used in SQL like from our next session. Okay guys, thank you. Please do subscribe our YouTube channel, and we are also available on the Facebook and Instagram. Please follow us and support us. We do have a WhatsApp community as well, so I have provided the registration link on the post, so please join us, and we can also discuss if you have any questions and all. Please comment your questions. We can go through your questions as well. So let me know in our next session like if you are facing any difficulties while installing Oracle Apex, then we can discuss on it as well. Okay guys, thank you. Let's meet in our next session.